Morgan Hunter Gross.
Good afternoon, Mayor, council members, and staff. My name is Morgan Hunter Gross. I was born at Santa Monica Hospital in 1985, and my father, Dr. Jay Gross, was an eye surgeon here. I grew up at the Growing Place Village School in Crossroads. For the last 3 months, I've traveled thousands of miles across California, studying airports and parks at every level. California preserved the Folsom Powerhouse at State Historic Park. Santa Monica could do the same. Reclaiming Santa Monica Airport is the first state historic airport park, not just leaving it as an empty, toxic, abandoned runway. As we learned from India Basin and Salesforce Park, that these projects only succeed when they are tied with transit and not left isolated. But first, we need honesty. Months ago, your own experts said airport core samples had been sent out to a lab. Where are the results? There is about PFAS, forever chemicals. Candlestick Point and Hunters Point show what happens when testing is hidden. Decades of delay, lawsuits, toxic piles. If we repeat that mistake here, Santa Monica will be stuck for decades. The people voted for a park, not housing. My larger vision is a Santa Monica National Park, preservation on the scale of tens of thousands of acres, ensuring true access to the earth for all. But credibility starts small. Across the street, Tongva Park, both handicap bathrooms were locked. Either all the bathrooms are locked or none are. Singling out disabled access is an ADA violation. The federal government built the city hall and it built the pier bridge, which is now failing and must be replaced immediately. We need state and federal help again, and with it, we could reclaim our land and imagine a national park in our backyard. Thank you.
Thank you. Before Mr. Foster comes up, I'm going to call the next few names.
And before that, I'm so sorry, before that, Morgan Hunter Gross. Is that Mr. Hunter Gross? Yeah, my apologies. We were just out of order, so I wanted to make sure we got you.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council, and city staff. My name is Morgan Hunter Gross. We started the City Council with the land acknowledgement, and in September I was a missing person. I didn't really understand it. I hadn't been to the Curravunga Springs, our springs, but since then I met Robert Ramirez there, the water keeper. He showed me the water coming up from the ground, pure and clean, moving the pebbles as it flowed for all of us to drink. He told me that it took 40 years for the rainwater to filter down through the mountains, and then the time and pressure brings it up. This is my home, my birthplace. I am 40 years old. I drank the rainwater from when I was born in Santa Monica Hospital in 1985. Water is what makes Santa Monica Santa Monica. We are the people of the springs, streams, and seas. Santa Monica remained its own city because it controlled its own water at a time when water meant political survival. The seas. Thank you for listening to me about the bridge from September. And we can't wait for the pier to be truly accessible. Streams. Seeing the rain captured in reverse osmosis in Virginia Park and by the Civic Center is great. The parking lot by the Civic Center shows us now that we can use the underground effectively, and lessons that we can learn from lowering equipment subterranean we can apply to Santa Monica Airport. Springs. The handicap bathrooms at the Tongva Park across the street are still locked. A personal request is needed to unlock them. This is a clear violation of the Americans with Disability Act of 1990 and California UNRRA discrimination. Either all the bathrooms are locked or none are. I shouldn't have to ask an able person who's happened to be named Abel, A-B-B-E-L, to unlock it. Where are the results from the Santa Monica Airport soil samples? Who locked this handicap bathroom? How much electricity is generated in Santa Monica? Do we want a Santa Monica National Park? How do we help the Tongva Gabrielinos get federal recognition? How do we honor the past, present, and future ancestors? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Morgan Hunter Gross, Hootie, Maria Loya, and then I'll call a few more names: Zena Josephs, Oscar De La Torre, and Jonathan Foster.
Again, good evening, Mayor and members, City Council and City staff. My name is Morgan Hunter Gross. I'm a disabled neurodivergent polymath. I'm a filmmaker who's been masquerading as a film editor, but I'm really a systems thinker. So I'm here to talk about the homeless emergency proclamation. This should be about basic human kindness. We should lease, purchase, or build modular units, trailers, or semi-permanent structures. We should really hire builders, operators, and service providers as soon as possible. We need to set up private showers, restrooms, laundry, and temporary sleeping facilities We need to make it easier to repurpose existing facilities on city property for emergency sleep and hygiene sites. I'm gonna go through the showers real fast. There's only one shower in Santa Monica that I know of. It's on the beach, and there's no private area to take your clothes off and change your clothing, and even people that come to visit. You can't use soap. You can't change your clothes. Mothers are washing their kids off in the bathrooms, the sink. The only proper shower that I know of is in the California State Park system, and that's at the coast in Sycamore Canyon is a good example. It's 50 cents for 2 minutes of it's a quarter for 2 minutes of hot water. The cold water is free, but they use the hot water to. I believe in voluntary use of immediate. In Santa Monica, we have the ability to build and retrofit beautiful homes and offices for the elite. What if we decided to lead the nation in building and retrofitting for the insecure? My name is Morgan Hunter Gross, and my FEC number is P80008.
Thank you. Morgan Hunter Gross.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and City staff. Thank you, Mayor, for your office hours. It was really something special. My name is Morgan Hunter Gross. I want to start with one idea. Everything is linked. The problems in cities with parks, homelessness, public health, safety, infrastructure are not separate buckets. They are one system. Water, power, communications, waste, mobility, health, and human dignity, moving through the same space. And here's the educational piece. Even the beach sand under our feet isn't natural. We engineered and built the wide beach out of desert lizard sand. We repeatedly replenish our beaches with millions of cubic yards of imported sand over the decades, 90s and even earlier, in the mid-90s even. And yet, we still don't have a clean and respectful way for people to wash off and change clothes. We still lack basic runoff capture so that the beach ends up holding soap, trash, and waste. It reminds me that when systems aren't designed end-to-end, pollution and harm can accumulate, like the PFAS firefighting foams and runoff that have been a concern at Santa Monica Airport. That's a sign we're missing basic systems thinking. We could open innovation overlay zones. Beach X Santa Monica would be an example. Would be respected. Modern beach rest stop for road trippers and aero trippers that makes equity visible as infrastructure and a model other coastal cities can copy. Rapid prototyping, crowdsourced design, measurable iteration. Santa Monica is a living lab, proving new designs, toughest real-world conditions, the coast, the crowds, and real human need, while piloting water capture, filtration, renewable power from waves, wind, and sun. With autonomy and accessibility, innovations for human hygiene and dignity. That's why, in my mind, Santa Monica Airport and Santa Monica Beach are one corridor, one path, and one solution. The airport is already a test bed. The beach, pier, breakwaters could be a test bed for new technologies. And when we connect them, the Santa Monica becomes a rare place where we can lead education and real-world innovation, starting with the simplest human need, a clean and dignified way to get clean. We can do better. We need private showers, hot water, and proper water handling techniques, a respected public system that residents, both visitors and unhoused neighbors, can both use. Nice facilities will also help the facility. When people get clean, they can charge up comfortably. They'll stay in Santa Monica. They'll shop and dine instead of leaving wet and salty. Thank you.
Thank you. Jerry Rubin, Jonathan Foster, Lawrence Cohen, Samantha Mota.
Thank you very much. Jerry Rubin, Santa Monica, Mayor Terosas, Mayor Pro Tem Zwick, honorable council members, city staff, city attorney, city manager, city clerk, wonderful police officers, and fellow Santa Monicans. First of all, I just want to say thank you for doing the closed session at the end of the meeting, because I know there's no perfect time. And I know it's hard either way and how unpredictable it is. But I just want to say thank you for your dedication. I could go home and relax, but you might have to stay another hour and a half or 2 hours, and I hope people understand the hard work the council's putting in.
Morgan Hunter Gross.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Appreciate it. It's okay. I saw they have a hearing thing if you have trouble next time. Okay. I thank you, City Council, for unlocking the handicap bathrooms. A round of applause. Thank you, guys. It's a little thing. All right. First time I came here, read off my phone. The second time I came here, I wrote my notes. The third time I came here last time, I read off of my custom-built backpack, which is a Mac OS X computer actively cooled using a sine wave inverter and power. Cool. I also used my camera headphones, which was fun. All right, stitched together. Okay, so what am I here to talk about? This is March. It's Developmental Disability Awareness Month. So what do we as developmental disability have to contribute? We have invention to contribute. We camouflage. Oh, I was thinking about camouflage. Sorry, I was thinking about Arctic Apache early this morning. Okay. Okay, so about 15 to 20% of us in the United States have developmental disabilities. We had someone here, last week or 2 weeks ago with epilepsy, talking, that's epilepsy. Read the list. Hold on, I made a list. Specific learning disorders, ADHD, developmental language disorder, autism spectrum disorder, developmental coordination disorder, stuttering, Tourette syndrome, elimination disorder, that's like wedding beds, chromosomal conditions like Down syndrome, like my neighbor, cerebral palsy, like my uncle. We have hearing loss and vision loss. Both, my Aunt Lila had both hearing loss and vision loss, epilepsy, Down syndrome. Not all of us can talk. My uncle, he struggled to walk. I struggle. Santa Monica Airport. I enjoyed flying over the ocean from Santa Monica Airport during my training. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. You getting anything in there? I muted my phone here, so you can just talk to me here. You can hear me there? That's still delayed. Okay. Okay. The podium mic. You're trying to get which one to the which the mixer still? The mixer still the problem? Okay. Do you want to hop on? What's that? We're still doing a mic check. Yeah. Can you hear me? So everything's fine, or he? Okay. Do you want Jordan to come back up? He's coming back up. Okay. Do you want me to stay here? Yeah. Here. Podium mic. Just don't know when you need me to stop talking. Yeah, and then I'm not talking to you on the phone or anything like that. Like everything is through the podium mic. So, okay, copy.
Thank you.
I have a video to play. I didn't make the video, but I have a video to play. My name's Morgan Hunter Gross.
Did you submit it to the clerk's office?
Correct, before 12 o'clock, 11:30. They said it could play. I didn't have to download it and send it up before. In the meantime,
Is it the airplanes?
yeah, it's about airplanes. Exactly.
Okay.
It's about airplanes.
Is this
My special interest is about airplanes. You kidding me? I'm supposed to be talking about
The
aerospace.
FAA has released a blueprint for
It's not
future
playing,
air
but we're
taxi
listening to audio.
operations in the nation's airspace.
Oh, there we go.
At first, air taxis will
Start the
operate
timer.
using existing routes and helipads used by helicopters today, following the same rules as other aircraft. As operations increase, the air taxis could fly in designated corridors. Initially, pilots will be on board and actively fly the aircraft. Pilots see and avoid other aircraft and coordinate with air traffic controllers. Air taxis likely will operate one way only within the established corridors set first. But as air taxis increase in number and complexity, strategies for two-way traffic could be introduced. In these corridors, operators could be responsible for keeping aircraft safely separated using industry-developed technologies and FAA-approved rules. This blueprint is a key step in the FAA's work to safely usher in this next era of aviation.
Thank you. So right outside City Hall, even the rosemary bush has a little bit of foam nests on it. Juvenile insects using the plant as both food source and shelter. It reminds me that not every visible irregularity is a crisis, and that good governance means understanding the system before we rush to poison it, erase it, or call it a problem. I'm going to name some companies: Joby, Archer, Beta, Whisk, Electra, Ampere, Regent, Pika, Lyft, and Pivotal. I'm going to give you some words. AAM, Advanced Air Mobility. UAM, Urban Air Mobility. Powered Lift. Vertiport. A vertiport is a landing facility with eVTOL. Okay. EB 105, which is brand new from the FAA. That was an FAA video, by the way, everyone. Okay. The Engineering Brief 105 is FAA's current vertiport design documents, giving us eVTOL, which stands for Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing. The new Mosaic is brand new. It's a modernization of special airworthy certification of FAA's modernization of light sport, which is what we've been flying at Santa Monica Airport for a while, those piston-powered. Well, avgas is going away, and a bunch of good stuff. I want to thank you guys for your time, and you guys stay here late, which is really impressive. And I don't think as many people later.
Thank you. Great. Okay, moving on to consent calendar. Actually, my apologies. Public input on items under the consent calendar in closed session only. We have one commenter, Morgan Hunter Gross.
Yes, okay.
Hello, I'm here to talk about item 4G, which is the emergency homeless proclamation. Okay, so what I wanted to, we're in those, is tell you about some pictures I took while you guys were on break last week. I walked down to Tongva Park and the sun was setting, and those big metal things, I have it framed with the sunset. I came around and I saw a homeless man. He was standing looking at the sunset, really enjoying his time. A Porsche 911 Targa pulls in front of the Santa Monica sign. A man walking on the pier holding a portable television in a bathrobe and a hat wearing sandals. He was interesting. But the showers are fascinating. I wanted to take a picture of showers, but I had to wait a while because there's some kids showering. I didn't want to take pictures of kids showering, obviously. So I'm starting to take pictures of other people to document the showers, the cold showers, and this woman's trying to, and her boob pops out. I'm like, okay, I'm done taking pictures here. So then at the same time, people are, playing volleyball. There's some kids smoking some weed by the corner who had traveled because they have a camera. So they traveled all the way from wherever they came from the middle of the country to promote whatever thing because they're cool in Santa Monica, because Santa Monica is cool. Okay, then I get back, starting to head back to Tongva Park. A man is sleeping in front of the Tongva Park sign. I walk a little farther, more towards the entrance where people are coming off of the train, and there's now a police, an unmarked police, now drove up onto the sidewalk, and there's another homeless man who's now walking away on his bike, blaring colored lights. He was just about to fall asleep. The sun's going down. He must have just gotten off the train. He found a nice spot, but he can't sleep there, obviously, which is an interesting concept that you can't sleep on the floor. Okay, I'll move on. I don't know the laws on that one. But what I believe was interesting the first time I ever saw was the elevator for the pier. It was the first time I ever saw it. It's only open when the restaurant is open.
Thank you. We will move on to general public input. We have 33 speakers and everyone will have 1 minute. So I will call Andrew. Well, we had 33 and do we have 45 now? Anyway, okay, 45. Andrew Hoyer, Morgan Hunter Gross, Jerry.
I have a video to play. Gross. I made this video this time. I made it in Unreal Engine. I was inspired by Red 6. April is Autism Awareness Month, and I am showing you the future of flight because it proves what human beings can engineer when we try. We sent the first woman and the first Black astronaut around the moon. Yet a child asked if there had ever been an autistic astronaut, and the answer was basically no. That gap is the point. This is not just about awareness, it's about accommodation versus ableism. Ableism is discrimination. It treats difference like defect and forces disabled people to absorb the cost of everyone else's misunderstanding. Accommodation does the opposite. Observe first, respect reality, know a person's baseline, make room for human difference with dignity. This year, I could not camouflage anymore. Burnout burned through all my masks, so I said I need to find out who I am and what I'm capable of. What I found is that my potential is real. That's why I show up. That is my president's school. I am trying to turn pain into pattern, pattern into policy, and policy into less pain and suffering for other people. I made this demo, not this part, but the first part for New York City for vendors to
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Great. Thank you all. You can happy hands, but we appreciate the sentiment.
Hi, my name is Morgan Gross. I have a video. This is part of my XR research stuff. Government. My name is Morgan Hunter Gross. I sent you a video for the clerk's office. I have the agenda here. It's cool.
You read about it, you see it sometimes in video, but until you see it for real life, you don't really appreciate how real it is and maybe how near it is.
It's going to give us different regional mobility. Where we live, where we work can fundamentally change.
I made this video for you guys.
Form of aviation, a new way of moving people around. The electric-powered vertical takeoff and landing aircraft is so exciting.
The national airspace is built around something like 30 or so big airports. It's built for the convenience of the airlines and the system that runs it.
Not just for the ultra-wealthy who can fly in a private business jet, but for people who want to use commercial aviation in their standard everyday life.
Using it will be a lot more like calling an Uber today. You could take out your mobile phone, order a flight, get on the airplane, and you'll go where you're headed.
If you guys don't want to listen to me, these are all experts.
Batteries and from jet fuel. And the reason it uses both sources is you get a different advantage to storing energies in different ways. The great thing about storing energy in batteries is it lets electric motors, which can pull really high amounts of power for short durations, pull that energy really quickly. And so by burning fuel with the turbo generator, we can fly much further than we could.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Morgan Hunter Gross.
On my summer California expedition, after thousands of miles, I went to Sutter's Mill. When Jesse and I were in 4th grade, we went to Sutter's Fort in Sacramento, a linked place, a different California lesson. At Sutter's Mill, I learned the gold rush phrase, seeing the elephant, chasing the dream, seeing the real world, and coming back changed. I think Jesse saw the elephant in Hollywood, and I finally watched his movie about Alex. Not just the trailer. It's a good human movie about pain, silence, stigma, and the circle gathering when someone breaks. But real life is not always the movie. Sometimes the circle does not gather. The wife is gone. This month, my parents moved into assisted living with Parkinson's and dementia. I coordinated the whole move, went through everything, moved everything, and right now my mom is in the hospital. My K-12 village school burned down. The friend groups are scattered, and the person in crisis paying $100 a night at 19th and Pico just to survive is standing alone at the microphone trying to explain a lifetime in 60 seconds. In Hackers, the quote is, "When I was a child, I thought as a child. When I was younger, I crossed the mustard. Now I don't." Thank you.
Thank you. Morgan Hunter Gross.
Hi, I'm Morgan Hunter Gross. I'm speaking about item 4K, which is the homelessness emergency proclamation. I'm going to continue. So when I was younger, I used to cross the mustard. Now I don't. Because real life has no stunt coordinator, no second take, no guaranteed rescue scene. That is stigma, neurodivergence, neurodegeneration, saneism, mentalism, the belief that mental suffering makes someone less credible. West Side privilege is real. Private schools, tutors, SAT prep, doctors, immigrant caregivers, Hollywood, rehabs, image management. But the privilege is not care. After 20 years working in Hollywood and Santa Monica, after losing work when disability became visible, I may be homeless again with a green and yellow Lotus Part 4. That sounds impossible. It isn't. Santa Monica needs systems for the real version where people are believed, supported, and seen before they break. That is why I propose a Santa Monica Civic Skunk Works Commission. If we are one of the smartest cities in America, then let's stop only importing problems and start exporting solutions. That is why I've been live streaming a documentary about Santa Monica Airport. That is why I've been riding my own elephant all the way to Washington, D.C. My name is Morgan Hunter Gross. I'm a neurodivergent polymath born in Santa Monica Hospital in 1985. And what I've seen at 19th Street in Pico is shocking. I've been there for 3 nights. I have a month I'm staying there. It's fascinating to see the Annex 2. The grouping of the people under the overhang in the car park where they sit in car chairs to hang out. It's rough, guys. And I mean, it's the north side. It's a big intersection. So everyone who wants to go east from that neighborhood has to go in that neighborhood alleyway. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Morgan Hunter Gross, Allison Shao, Eve Lopez, Mark Smith, Edward Story.
Hi, my name is Morgan Hunter Gross. Governance is only as effective as the expertise of the governors. At the Mojave Spaceport, the board is comprised of pilots and aerospace engineers. They understand that high-performance propeller isn't a nuisance. It is the sound of industrial progress and national security. In Santa Monica, we have an intelligence gap. Our framework is optimized for noise mitigation and restriction politics, not technical literacy. We lost Red 6, a $100 million aerospace unicorn, because this body couldn't distinguish between a disturbance and a revolution. To an untrained ear, their test aircraft was just a loud prop. To an expert, it was the sound of the world's most advanced augmented reality training system being born right here in our city. Because we lack the aviation depth to value that innovation, we prioritized a noise report over a generational defense anchor. Red 6 took their engineering jobs, their massive tax base, and their genius to Florida. We didn't just lose a tenant. We traded hundreds of millions of dollars in economic growth for a moment of silence. Santa Monica Airport was forged as a cornerstone of national security where Douglas Aircraft built the arsenal of democracy, a legacy of defense and innovation that our current policies are actively driving away. It is time to stop managing this airport as a liability and start leading it like a world-class asset as it is. I have gone to the last 2 airport commission meetings and directly concerned about Brown Act violations in the minutes and rebroadcasting, editing content, not just for time. Handing out $5,000 fines, then $10,000 fines while the precision approach, path indicator, PAPI lights are out of order is safe.
Thank you. Eve Lopez, Mark Smith, Edward Story. Okay, Mr. Hunter Gross.
Hi, my name is Morgan Hunter Gross. Because I have 2 minutes, can we play both part 1 and part 2? I put 2 1-minute videos. And can we turn the music audio off? Yeah. All right. We begin each meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. It was written in 1892 by Francis Bellamy, a Baptist minister, for the 400th year celebration of Columbus Day. According to John W. Baer, author of the Pledge of Allegiance, A Centennial History, Bellamy wanted to add the word equality to the pledge. At the end, liberty and equality instead of liberty and justice. For all, liberty and equality for all was a quote mindful of the social climate regarding women and minorities, because basically they wanted to keep things chill after the Civil War. So now, even to this day, we struggle with the loss of the word equality in our Pledge of Allegiance to the United States of America. So here we are at the edge of Santa Monica discussing the Edge case that happened, last week. It was amazing with 200 people here. My name is Morgan Hunter Gross. I'm a neurodivergent polymath from Santa Monica, California. And my FEC candidate ID is P800081 204. That is my Federal Election Commission candidate ID, and the P stands for President. I believe in transparency, efficiency, and compassion. What I did here 2 weeks ago was I scanned City Hall. I created a Gaussian splat. I have 1 or 2 more City Council meetings in person before, if plans continue, I begin my second transcontinental expedition to Washington, D.C. From my summer in California, the remaining thread is to follow the history of the Transcontinental Railroad towards Washington, D.C. I plan a 3-month residency in Washington, D.C. with museums at the center, and hopefully in August, DARPA Lift Challenge in Ohio. So I Gaussian splatted this room so that we can have more than 50 people in this room. We can have more than 30 people in this room. We could have as many as we want.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hunter Gross.
Hi, my name is Morgan Hunter Gross. I'm talking about for Bravo, which is recycling, for Echo, Crosswalks, for Hotel, which is the major events, and for India, which is the Coastal Commission. So I'd like to talk about recycling first. I think that we're not educating the basics. We're talking about a lot of recycling. I remember the trailers that used to come around with 3 recycling cans. Anybody remember the trailers in Santa Monica for trash and recycling? I don't know how many people are from Santa Monica here. Okay, so I think we need to discuss reduce, reuse, and recycle as the basic 1, 2, and 3. There's also not much of a discussion I've read on the website about what to do with used lithium-ion batteries. There's the e-waste, but there's very little incentive for these tons of devices that have lithium-ion batteries that then go into the dumps, and then they have dump fires with the lithium-ion batteries. So it would be great if we can come up with an incentive and an easy way for environmental, because we have tons of devices now with lithium ions. Okay, now we're going to move on to the events with Camera Obscura. What happens after these big events? I've never seen Camera Obscura actually work in its proper function. As a filmmaker and a photographer, the idea of what they did in the optics to make it work the way it does, and it's not upside down, seems incredible to me. So I'd really love to see that, because I sit on the Charlie Chaplin post outside, which is super cool because I used to work in his old train car office in Hollywood in Sunset Gower Studios. So, yep, and I mean, it's such a difference that there's less than 200 people here today. Okay, crosswalks for Echo. My great aunt, she was blind and deaf. I'm talking about vibrotactile buttons here and target beeps. We used to have the beep boop, beep boop to cross the streets in Santa Monica, different directions. Anybody remember that? Yep. Yeah, we gotta remember. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so we're missing the target sounds. Also, currently, when I press the button, it makes the same sound whether it's walk or non-walk. When I mean vibrotactile, I mean it should vibrate, so if I'm blind and deaf, I know. It doesn't say the name of the streets. When I did my travels in California, I noticed a lot of the red cities had a lot more significantly better disability access. So we saw the map on the Renown for India, the Coastal Commission. We saw the map 2 weeks ago about the 4th Street and then the Lincoln cutoff. That is fascinating, and that also reminds me of the CAL FIRE map, which has just got released too, separate. We're talking about Coastal Commission. What's happening past the 4th Street is fascinating. I don't know how to describe what's happening, what we're seeing, the numerous proposals on 5th Street, the 6th Street, 7th, and 8th Street. It's like we've created this developmental wall, and that's fascinating because we have the history of those big buildings that were built in the 70s. I got to fly on the building with that guy who built the big white building on Wilshire. That was a trip. He taught me about the reason why cell phones don't work on the interconnectors. Okay. So I overall would like to think about the height that we're going with in Santa Monica, what we want, and overall when we're talking in the 3rd dimension, its relationship with Santa Monica Airport. But I'll stay away from that on this topic. I want to thank you, all City Council. I get to come here and hang out to the last meetings. I'm one of the last people here. I get to walk some of you guys out. And, I mean, when I walked out with previous Mayor Lana Negrete, and the maintenance man who had to deal with all of the chairs from last session. He opened the door for Lana and said, Mayor. And that respect was very important. Thank you all.
Morgan Hunter Gross will go Tracy Quinn, Joe DeRosa, Elizabeth Vandenberg.
Hello, my name is Morgan Hunter Gross. My 1 month in Santa Monica has concluded at 19th Street. My time is up. Time is the top. I got Eagle and the Bear, which is interesting. The Bear reminds me of Sonoma Fort, where the Spanish missions made it all the way up, linked to the streams and springs of Santa Monica. I stayed in an Airbnb in Santa Monica for 1 month. I'm trying to figure out how to describe the feelings I feel about Airbnb as a corporate in their externalization of responsibilities for a scabies infestation. It's also interesting that on the top of our seal are airplanes. We're the people of the streams, seas, and skies.
Thank you. Morgan Hunter Gross, Jonathan Foster, John C. Smith.
I'm here to talk about 4C. So I think the $500,000 design grant is interesting, and I wish it could stay inside Santa Monica. I don't know if we're still working with the Boston design firm who set up the office in Los Angeles. I read the 2012 RAND Santa Monica Airport report, which was absolutely fascinating to see what the smartest minds of Santa Monica thought of what to do with Santa Monica Airport. It's interesting how it would have really helped for the fire and the police station protectedness plan that they would have been proposing. So, yeah, I think overall, Santa Monica Airport, I've been studying it for the last year. I've learned so much, and I think $10 million sounds like a lot of money, but that's about an acre of redevelopment and reclamation. So.
Thank you. Morgan Hunter Gross.
Hello, I'm here talking about 11B. I think I'm against this new rules change of order. Because something happened last week in the 16 item. I learned about the Virginia apartments, so I went to go look at the Virginia apartments that night, right afterwards, and like 11, 12 o'clock at night. And then I think if we hadn't have had that moment, I wouldn't have learned about the corporation Santa Monica and the whole Santa Monica SMRR history and link back. And I think just the ability to bring something up and educate the public is vitally important. Now, transparency isn't necessarily a solution of everything. It's not a means to an end, but it's a path on the way there. So I'm going to read the section from, I was looking at the changes to the report, and we didn't really have all the time to read it. The city manager will work with we're adding this because anything with an underline is being added, anything that's being crossed out is being deleted. So this is an underlined thing that's being added. The city manager will work with the requesting council members to decide if the item will be placed on the agenda or address them in other ways. No less than 2 and no more than 3 council members may place a council member discussion item on an agenda to consider a formal censure of a council member for the violation of the law, local ordinance, common law, conflict of interest, council rule, or resolution. Due process shall be provided, including the notice of the allegations and an opportunity to oppose the accusation. So you need 2 people, but not more than 3, and 1 person isn't good. I love that Santa Monica has the ability for 1 person to do that.
Great, thank you.
Morgan Hunter Gross.
Hello, my name is Morgan Hunter Gross. Hello. Before I leave Santa Monica on my second transcontinental expedition, I have two requests. Please investigate Airbnb and 30-day stays because my stay showed enough gaps in housing, lodging, cleaning standards, public health, taxes, inspections, smoke alarms, and guest protections to warrant city review. Please investigate Santa Monica Ford, sales and service because fleet purchases, maintenance records, trim levels, emergency power options, and transparency matters when public money is involved. My larger request is this. Treat access as infrastructure and explain systems clearly before asking the public to trust them. Last summer, I studied California as a system. Monterey, Sacramento, Benicia, Fort Ross, Sonoma, Tahoe, rail, water, ports, missions, parks, fire, forests, mining, and public access. In Monterey, California, I learned that goods taxed entering the old capital was basically a tariff. That is President's School. It's not about winning. It's not about expect to win. It's about learning systems, using real world, changing what can be changed. Santa Monica needs the same clarity now. Airport land, Measure LC, parks, housing, Expo line consequences, tourism, leaded aviation fuel ending. The message is still too vague. My calendar failure with the city is a digital warning. A Microsoft export bug put 11 in the ICS calendar file. My iPhone showed 12 through daylight saving. That has national level implications. Scheduling is access. At the DMV, I saw legacy software issues. COBOL comes from 1959. Unix time is calculated from 1970 as a starting point. Old infrastructure sits under modern screens. Physical access shows the same pattern. City Hall lights still flicker on the side. Broadway bike lanes change disabled access. City Hall has a dirt with no ramp besides an accessible parking lot on the south side and needs pavement. Access is not just a sign. Access is whether people can actually use it. My freshman year finished. My sophomore year starts. President's School, lessons from Santa Monica to the nation. From sea to shining sea, from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean. Thank you.
Thank you. Morgan Hunter Gross.
Hello, my name is Morgan Hunter Gross. I'm talking about item 4 Alpha and 4 Charlie. I'd like to talk about the recycling vehicles that we're buying. We're spending, specifically, I think it's interesting that we're getting 11 of the front loaders for $7 million, and then we're getting one all-electric front loader for $1 million. So the electric one is clearly more expensive. And then I remember the previous electric one was not made in America, which I'll move on. And in regard recycling, those kids with the balls were incredible. I'm going to give a little how it's made. Used tennis balls are collected from courts in big bins or bags. First, they go into the sorting table, where better balls are pulled out for reuse. Lesson balls, machines serve practice, schools, dog fetch, chair legs, walkers, and physical therapy. The truly dead balls go into cutting, crushing, and defelting machine. That machine breaks the ball open and tears and scrapes away the fuzzy felt, which is glued tightly to the rubber core. Next, the balls go into an industrial shredder or grinder. The machine chops the rubber into small pieces. The mix poses through a separator and screens out the pieces. The rubber crumb is screened by size. The recycled tennis ball rubber can become tennis court cushioning, playground surfaces, gym flooring, sports underlayment, horse area, blah, blah. My dad, he worked on the board of Santa Monica Hospital. When they replaced after the earthquake, they needed new signs. It was going to cost $300,000 to replace all the signs. He said, how much does a sign machine cost? The sign machine was $100,000. So they bought the sign machine. So that's in regards to recycling. The homelessness. We need a step in a procedure of actions like seaborne decontamination to go procedures. We have everything from skin-borne scabies to things going forward. I did some contact tracing yesterday and last session about scabies infection in Santa Monica, do some contact tracing and found a source. In addition to that, we need full seaburn, where you go in and you go one way through for contamination and health and safety for homeless people and heated showers.
Thank you.